Hello, let's continue on step 4 of the SAP assignment. Create a vendor master record for the landlord. We are going to receive the rental bills. Under SAP system, we have a group of accounts we call business partners. It can be a person, group, or other organizations which we have business interest with. So for example, customers, vendors, employees, and other external entities. So for business partner, before we can have transactions with them, like make payments or collecting receivables, we need to have these partners in our system, like adding a new recipient on your Zelle payments in your bank account. So for creating, managing, or editing your business partners, we still use the financial accounting function. And we can go from accounts payable. I believe we can do something similar on the accounts receivable as well, but let's continue on the accounts payable. But this time, look for the manage business partner master data under your AP account. So click on this tile. I believe this tile also exists under your account receivable management. So click on that. We are not viewing or checking the existing partners. So no requirements for the top information. So we are going to create a new, so not a new account, okay, a new business partner, but not a person. We choose organization in this time. And for the pop-up general data, let's starting from the BP row, which will be a FI. Be careful, we need to specify the correct row for this vendor in our system. So this is a new vendor. So I'm looking for FIV, this one, this one, FIVN, this is the new vendor. If it's a purchase vendor, we are going to buy material or buy equipment, we add some more information for the vendor, use another row. But this time, the general data company code, and so we just do it under this one, so FI vendor. So be careful not to select the other vendor row. And the organization title, I can just put company. And the company name, okay, we have a name like a cardinal. That's really a make-up name. Okay, like you can call something else if you really like. But for the handout, cardinal property group, and with your own account code, the street address. The street name is fine, but when you put the city name and the corresponding postal code and state information needed to be valid. Okay, it should be the real information. So trail. And the city will be Eden. It's a real city. Okay, under Ferrari. And postcode should be valid. Okay, it's matching with the city, and I don't have the if you want to put a street number, I'm just for example, 300, and the country will be United States, and the region is like a state, because German SAP is a German company. Okay, they don't call state, so they put regions, but for us it's like the state. So I'm in Minnesota, and the language will be English. So those are the required information for the general data, right? When you fill some online, like customer profile, that's our name, contact information. So general data for this vendor. And after you double check all of the info are valid and we click OK, it will be added into the system. And our basic data. And then we go into the next group of data. And put a search term here, right? In case I forget the vendor code or vendor name later, I can put a search. So use your own 3-digit account number as a search term. Okay, it will help you find, imagine in the real business management, I may have a large groups of different vendors, partners, and this search term can help you find the required info later. And then move on to the rows. The next group of data under the tab, the rows we already have, is currently under this row. And then at the end of the line, so we need to add some more information under the row data. So at the end of the line, click on the arrow. Under this new screen, go to the company code data here. Similar to the account creation, we in the company code, you click on the help icon and create. Yeah, similar to the account creation. And put US 00 as our main company code. And in the finance area, so scroll down. Now put the new created accounts payable. When in our step 2, you can see there are only 2 accounts pop up related to payables, but do not use the main accounts like trading payable, but use the newer accounts payable we created for the rental expense only for better payable management. So later, when we input the invoice from this vendor, the system will automatically match the bill, the invoice to this vendor, helping us to complete the journal entry. And then after go to the payment data, okay, this middle column, we need to specify some of the payment terms. So no deferred payments, okay, pay immediately. Means when we receive the bill, you need to pay without delay. But if you click on the search button, we have different payment terms, right? Like with discount available, more days to make payments, but that's for other situations. For our starting practice, we are using the pay immediately. Oh. And then click say apply. Okay, for the current, and we need to check a double invoice, and then apply this input. So we are to the info we have input so far, and then now you can save the customer role by click I think apply one more time, and then use the create button in the bottom. Yeah, I think we are almost done. To confirm the final creation of this vendor, and write this down. Okay, this is the new vendor, like the ID for this vendor in our accounting system. So take a screenshot or write it down so you can remember. Okay, like each of you will have a different vendor code. So this is like we add a new payee in our financial accounting system, especially for accounts payable management. And for this is like a service vendor, right? Like only like rental properties. If we have a purchase vendor, like our real material purchasing, parts purchasing, we need to have more roles of this vendor and more inputs related to the purchasing, like shipment, like delivery requirements, and those additional requirements will practice that type of vendor when we do the purchasing model later. But this at this time, so we finished step 4 of the assignments, and I can go back to the home screen.